You told me something about why it's a little bit silly to lump the Filipino martial arts into one broad category.
Yeah, because I've got a lot of experience in the Philippines. 23 years ago, I went there for 2 years. I wasn't there just to study martial arts. I was there as a missionary for my faith. And during that time, as a martial artist, growing up a martial artist in New Zealand and then here in the US, I found out about these cool martial arts they had there I never heard of before I actually arrived in the Philippines. And I was like, I'm going to study that. I'm going to be here for 2 years. So I found opportunities where I lived to really grab onto the Filipino martial arts. But because I lived there and I've returned yearly pretty much since, sometimes multiple times a year, I understand the real variety there is within the Philippines, not just of arts that are related to arnis, kali, eskrima, which are kind of a family of art, but some that are fairly unrelated, silat, kuntao, tapado, yaoyan, sikaran, some of these many other arts within the Philippines that are really of a different family than the arnis, kali, eskrima family of arts. And even within the arnis, kali, eskrima family of arts, if you go around the world, it's hard to, there's so many varieties of the art, it's hard to kind of lump them all together. There's, a lot of them trace their lineage back to maybe a same art, but they've evolved in different directions. Some put more focus on knife, stick, maybe empty hand, but there's just so much variety, it's hard to really say all Filipino martial arts are like this when there's so much variety to martial arts within the Philippines.
And even within Pikiti Tertia, the instructor matters.
It does, it really does, and it's such a broad art that you may have an instructor that really enjoys one element of the art, and so he focuses his training on that area. For example, maybe he really likes long-range stick work, or maybe he really likes the dumog, the grappling, striking part of it. Maybe he likes the knife part of it, and so as they gravitate towards these areas, whatever they like, oftentimes they teach more, they become better at that part of the art, and so not only is there that element of it where instructors may teach more of one part of the system, but people also are better at teaching one part of the system, one area, or what I often call freedom of self-expression. There's so much to the art. Every instructor expresses it in their own way, and that's actually encouraged. It's not saying that's not traditional, you got to teach it like this. No, it's like you teach that in a really great way, continue, and I encourage my students to study from other instructors so that they can get a flavor that they won't get from me. Maybe learn some things that maybe resonates better for them than it does the way that I teach it. So I like people to be able to explore the art within themselves and potentially be able to express it the way that works for them.
What is your flavor?
So a lot of people know me as the tactical guy. It's kind of a stigma that's kind of stuck. But my flavor, I think, that I'm more known for is getting into the application, and people use the term tactical very loosely, but more focusing on the application and how to make the art work in common self-defense scenarios, and that's kind of people know me for, and in particular how it can apply for operators. I apply for example, the tactics of Pikiti Tertia Kali to the gunfighting programs I teach. Handgun combatives at extreme close quarters, a combination of integrating some kind of a struggle that escalates from hand to hand, and now weapons are coming out and things escalate to lethal force, guns, knives, impact weapons, and so that happens a lot in the real world, but not a lot of people train that. And so the gun work I do is based on extreme close range gun work using the principles of Pikiti Tertia Kali. So that's one example of tactically applying what I've learned to another range of martial art, handguns.
Right on. Hey man, thank you very much. I learned a lot.